Hey, everyone. Today, I'm going to be talking about something a little different. I've been thinking a lot lately about, a lot of things, and I figured it's time to share with all of you some of the little details in life that I personally find super fascinating. So, let's dive in. All right, so first up, let's talk about socks. I know, it's not a subject a lot of people think about, but I've really been noticing how my socks wear out differently depending on which shoes I wear with them. Like, for instance, I have this one pair that I always wear with my black sneakers, and they've developed a sort of subtle thinning right under the arch of my foot. I'm not sure if it's the shoes or the way I walk, probably a combination of both, right? Anyway, I've been tracking the wear and tear on them, and it's just amazing how something so simple can tell you so much about your daily habits. Speaking of shoes, the other day I was going through my closet and I realized that my favorite pair of loafers, they're kind of a light brown, almost a tan, but not quite, have this tiny scuff on the left toe. Now, I've had these loafers for like 6 years, and I can't even remember how they got that scuff. It's one of those little mysteries. You know, every time I wear them, I wonder, was it from that time I went to the farmer's market? But I can't be sure. And honestly, that little imperfection just adds so much character to them. Do you ever feel that way about your shoes? Like, the longer you have them, the more they become part of your story. But enough about shoes. Let's shift gears to something even more intriguing. Tea. I've recently started keeping a detailed log of the different kinds of tea I drink throughout the week. It's so satisfying. So, I have this whole system where I write down what kind of tea I had, the exact time of day, and even what I was thinking about while drinking it. For example, last Tuesday at 3:43 p.m., I brewed a cup of Darjeeling. I was just sitting by the window, staring at the clouds, and I thought, isn't it strange how you never see the same cloud twice? And that's when I realized tea and clouds have a lot in common. They're both fleeting. You know, like, you enjoy them in the moment, but they're never quite the same again. Oh, and speaking of logs, I recently reorganized my spice rack, and let me tell you, it's been life-changing. I used to keep my spices in a random order, just however they fit on the shelf. But now I've got them arranged by frequency of use. So, the ones I use the most, like black pepper, cumin, and cinnamon, are right at the front. The less frequent ones, like fennel seeds or star anise, they're in the back. Every time I open my spice drawer, I just feel this sense of calm. It's like I've brought order to my kitchen, and by extension, to my life. Have you ever noticed how organizing one small part of your space can make everything feel more manageable? Like, just knowing that my paprika is exactly where I expect it to be. It's a game changer. Now, I have to talk about something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Texas Highway I-20. It's a major highway that runs from West Texas all the way to South Carolina, but the section I'm familiar with is the stretch that goes through Texas. Every time I'm on that road, I just get lost in thought. There's something about the landscape. It's so flat in places, with these long stretches where you can see for miles, and then every now and then you'll pass one of those old rest stops or gas stations that look like they haven't changed in decades. What really fascinates me, though, is how different the vibe is depending on the time of day. If you drive on I-20 at sunrise, the light hits the fields just right, and everything looks golden. But if you're driving at night, it feels completely different, quiet, almost eerie. I once drove through a thunderstorm on I-20, and it was one of those experiences that sticks with you. The rain was coming down so hard that I could barely see the road, but somehow it was kind of peaceful, too. There's a rhythm to the drive that just makes you feel connected to the road, you know? But anyway, back to something a little lighter. I recently rediscovered my favorite mechanical pencil. I've had this pencil since high school, and it's one of those old school metal ones with the heavy clicker. It's got a little wear and tear, but it's still working perfectly. What's amazing is this pencil has been with me through so much. Exams, doodling during lectures, writing down grocery lists, you name it. And the eraser? Well, it's almost gone now, but I've kept it anyway because it feels like part of the pencil's legacy. Every time I use it, I'm reminded of how reliable some things can be. Like, no matter how many times I misplace it or think I've lost it forever, it always turns up again, usually in the last place I'd expect. I could go on forever about my little discoveries, but I think that's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed hearing about these tiny, seemingly unimportant details, and maybe it got you thinking about the little things in your own life. Sometimes it's the stuff that seems the most mundane that really tells the story of who we are. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, save the restest for the bestest.